Well, good evening, and welcome to Jen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors. I'm your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. As always, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, and watching again. Special thanks to Dr. Coles from last week sharing with us about the C word, COVID-19. Chosen friends, please protect yourselves. Get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine, the choice is yours, but at least please wear your mask. So growing up, my mom would take me and some children from the neighborhood when my late grandfather, Albert Starks, was in a nursing home. We would go and we would sing songs, do activities, and it would be really, really fun. It was really good. Some years later, I took on a job through my high school work ready program where I worked at a nursing home, excuse me. It wasn't a great experience. Now, I enjoy helping others, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. And you learn a lot sometimes in that experience. PSA, public service announcement. When you go into a field, if you're burnt out, please take some time off or leave. Your energy can mess up the future of your field. Had I stayed in that moment of not liking what was going on and not speaking up about what was happening, hey, that led me to social work to be able to help other people. But again, you want to be able to go into a field that you really, really enjoy. Speaking of burnout, yeah, you know it was coming. We have a day of empowerment coming on Saturday, May 15th. It will be held virtually. So stay tuned for a keyword because I have another ticket to give away. Oh, it's going to be so fun. So I hope you, my chosen friends, are coming. But let's get into tonight's episode. Tonight, we're going to talk about home health care. I saw this movie called I Care a Lot. I was not a fan. It's on Netflix, I believe, or Prime, one of those. And somebody took them into like a nursing facility and things of that sort. And the lady did not need to go. She could have been cared for at home, but she really didn't need care. But tonight we're going to find out how you can get that care at home. Because guess what? Just like you prefer to be home, our loved ones might prefer to be at home too. So we want to find out how to support them, how to give them what they need right in the comfort of their own home. So help me welcome and introduce Crystal Creamer, who is a nurse and has a business as a home health care. She's going to tell us all about it. Please help me welcome and introduce Crystal Creamer.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, it's so nice to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So over here at Jen Cares, we start with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Again, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Brother Dalai Lama, what are your thoughts on that?
Let me tell you, it's funny because when I first started nursing school, that was the first question that they asked me, why do I want to be a nurse? And I said, because I want to bring compassion back to the nursing industry. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes nurses, we can be a little bit of some sharks. So, before nurses used to be perceived as so meek and kind and gentle. So I said, I want to bring a little bit of compassion back. And compassion goes a long way.
A long way. Yes. So I'm glad to hear about that. We're going to learn about compassion and how you got started and what it is that you're doing. I'm so very excited to have you. So as always, chosen friends, I have prepared some questions, but if you have a question or a thought, be sure to comment below because we have an expert here. She's going to let us know what we need to know. So, Crystal, tell us about yourself. Who is Crystal Creamer?
Well, Crystal Creamer today is a registered nurse. I have been a nurse now for over 15 years. I can't believe it. I started out in Philadelphia, actually at District 1199C, going to LPN school.
Okay.
Immediately after LPN school, I went to CCP and started taking some curriculum classes so I can go back to a university and obtain my nursing degree, my associates in nursing. So that's where I landed, and I enjoy nursing. I mean, before I even passed my boards for my LPN, I had already signed up to go back to school.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how much I just loved it. And I was like, I can't stop because, I was already in study mode and school mode. And, my life was already conformed to a certain way. So I just kept on going with school. After that, I started working with special needs pediatric children.
Okay.
Right after nursing school. And it was an industry that I didn't even know I would love. While in nursing school, I thought I would just be a labor and delivery nurse somehow in my head. I had my heart set on being a labor and delivery nurse. And then when I did my clinical rotation in maternity and the labor board, I was like, oh no, this is not for me. Yeah. So I went to the area that I least expected that I would love. And surprisingly, I love working with pediatrics. I did that for about 3 years and then I moved to trach and vent. And for 2 years, I was a trach and vent nurse. I love that. But the only thing about being a pediatric nurse and working with trach and vent as nurses, sometimes, kids are always constantly in our face. And my first year, I stayed sick. I got every cold and flu that came across because, you're going to hold kids, when they're sick and, let them kiss you and hug you and all of that. So after that, I moved to med-surg, and that's where I am now. So I take care of anyone that's over the age of 18. And I stumbled upon home care, and while in nursing school, I had we had to do some community health services and things like that. But working in the community, it was just like, wow, this is where I want to be. This is where I need to be, because I always loved the one-on-one care that you can give to people, because then you can see them when they are at their worst and you can help them, nurse them back to health and to wellness. And I just loved that process. I loved it. So, and I love the intimacy that comes with community health, because they have your number, they call you, they know, you just a hop, skip, and a jump away. I'm telling you, when an elderly person is not feeling well and to see a nurse walk through the door, it's like, it's everything to them. They are going to hang up the phone. They're turning off the TV. Oh, my nurse is here. Like, it makes them feel so special. And I love doing it. I love it.
Oh, I love that too. Like, wait a minute, I have to now get off the phone. I can't talk to you. And it shows that relationship as well of, this is somebody that I want to really pay attention to. This is somebody who I want to drop everything for and really communicate with. So that really speaks to that customer service that you have. So that's amazing. Well, not just customer service, but that rapport, that relationship built that you've done to really invest in them, where they like, this person cares about me and I can take this time to learn about me. So kudos to you. Oh. Now I'm intrigued. What was it about labor and delivery that said, this is not it?
The smell.
Okay.
How them babies look when they come out. I said, I am not touching that. I can't. And then the yelling and the screaming is just, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I know. And I didn't want to be insensitive because I don't have children yet. So, and it's like, it just come off as insensitive when you don't have children. You're like, can you shut up?
But you know what? You have to know what works for you. And if that was not what you wanted to do, by all means, please don't deliver no babies, because they're like, they can pick that up. We don't want them to pick up those negative vibes. We want them good vibes.
Exactly. So I went in my lane, and I'm staying in my lane. That's where I am.
We appreciate it. Again, thank you, because I can't even go into nursing. I have shared this month that is not my field. Don't do well with needles. Don't do well with none of those things. But we gotta go, so I do what I have to do. I'm dramatic, and I explained that I'm dramatic, and we go on with it. So again, thank you for your service.
Oh, wow.
So home health care, you said that you kind of stumbled upon it. Tell us about that because you have business.
Yeah, so when I first came out of school, I had such a hard time finding a job, and everyone was like, "Oh, you need to have experience." And I did. I worked in a nursing home before, and I was just like, this wasn't for me either, because I knew. I'm gonna tell you something. While going through nursing school, I was a bartender. I worked at Marriott, so I like bartend my way through nursing school. So I was already standing on cold concrete floors for hours, and I was like, I really, really don't want to do this to my body for years in. So I was like, okay, let me just try home care and see how that goes, because it might be a lot lighter on my body. And I happened to love it, and I was just like, okay. But when I first got into home care, of course, I was scared, because you are the nurse. You're everything when you come into that patient home and you take care of them.
Yeah.
At first, I started out with doing shift work, meaning I had to do it between 4 to 12 hours or to 16 hours. Someday I'm there, I'm taking care of that client. And sometimes I would just do visits periodically. And I ended up finding a love for even just doing the visits, because I had my clients on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and they knew it was a set schedule. They knew when I was coming. And I just love the intimacy of home care.
Okay.
And caring for people in such a vulnerable moment. And home care really came about when I don't know if you noticed, but like in the past probably over 5 years, we're not opening no more nursing homes. And now that this whole COVID thing happened and how hard it hit the nursing home industry, they're definitely not opening up any more nursing homes. Wow. I couldn't even tell you the last time the state even approved a license for a nursing home. Wow. Because everything is pretty much going towards community health. Like you see more health centers opening up in your community, more local doctors' offices opening up in your community. Years ago, you had to go all the way to the hospital to go to the doctors, or you had to travel all the way to Eon just to go see your primary care physician. Right. But no, everything is right there in your community. More pharmacies are opening up in your community. Dialysis centers are in the community. Yeah. Everything within the past 5 to 10 years have been pushed towards community health. So what the government started to do is, okay, everybody in a nursing home don't need 24-hour skilled care, but the nursing home will bill the government 24-hour skilled care. Even though Ms. Jones may need somebody just to help her out or to assist her with making sure she get dressed and bathing and feeding and reminding her to take her medications and things like that, she may only need 8 hours a day so that she can stay home and be safe. But years ago, home care wasn't as big as it is right now. And it's big like that because the government finally realized, hey, people thrive more when they are in a safe environment in their own home, because people are starting to live longer. So you don't have to pay for Ms. Jones to have 24-hour skilled care when all she needs is assistance so that she can maintain her independence. So that is the push, so that people, even if you are elderly or disabled, that we can come into your home and assist you with your daily living activities so you can maintain your independence. And that's the goal of home care.
Very nice. Okay. Awesome. And from that, you birthed Exceptional Home.
Exceptional Hearts Home Care. Yes. So from that, I actually I have two agencies. From that, I birthed Exceptional Hearts Home Health Care Agency because I was a nurse. I was working for someone else. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I didn't like how I was treated. I didn't like the pay. So I had to create my own job, and I had to create my own pay because I said, if these people can do it, why can't I? Because I asked them for a raise, and I had a chance to get a peek and see how much money that they were making off of all of my services. And I was like, why can't I? So, and that's what made me go after being a business owner. And when I first started, let me tell you, they denied my application 2 times. The third time I sent it, they approved it. And I was like, I'm not giving up. And I didn't give up. And I kept on going. I actually started Exceptional Hearts in my house. I mean, the first application I sent, I stopped counting at 558 pages. That is how big the application was. I said, this is unbelievable. I'm like, it's no way you guys going to read this. But somebody sat there and read each and every last word. And they pointed out everything I had wrong. And I was like, oh my God. It was initially, it was very overwhelming, but it was overwhelming to me because I was trying to attack it all at one time. So when I took it and I broke it down into different parts and different pieces, I was able to get through it. And that's what got me through. So
528 pages for the application?
Yes.
Not one time, not two times, but 3 times?
3 times.
Let's talk about their commitment to the cause.
Okay. Yes, God had told me to do something, and I'm telling you, I couldn't rest until I did it. I was just like, no, I'm going after this thing. But that's how determined I was to do it. And I'm like, no, I have to do it because I believed in myself. And a lot of people, if you allow a no to discourage you when God already gave you the vision and the dream of it, don't let no discourage you. Because oftentimes when you hear a no, you know you're going into the right direction, because you're going to get friction anytime you step out by faith and go after your dreams. Look, Peter walking on water. I mean, come on. So you have to have some type of belief in yourself so that you can go do it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. Of course, you're going to, and people who think that it's too hard, you're going to feel like it's too hard because you're not going to have anybody patting you on your back, telling you you're doing a good job. You're going to have to encourage yourself to go after it and to do what you have to do to make it happen. Because I believe in, if you're not satisfied with your job or what they're paying you, then create your own job. Create it. Do what you have to do so that way you can either make yourself an asset to that company or go after your dream so you can pay yourself the salary that you think you're worth.
Oh, that tenacity. Kudos again, because I always share the story of the cleanser 409, and how it took them 409 tries to get to that combination that works, that made it to the shelf. And you went 528 pages times to get to what is now on that shelf, and now is that care for so many families that have now embraced your services. So again, kudos to that. That's encouragement to all of us, that sometimes you may get a no, but if you feel it in your bones and your toes and your fingertips that you should be doing it, you got to keep on walking. You got to keep on writing, whatever it is, to make sure that thing comes to pass. Because if not, you'll be upset with you. And if God laid it on your heart, you don't want nobody to be upset with you like God. Like, okay, you're right. Let me just try it again. Because if you said it, it got to come to pass. It doesn't mean it's going to come to pass at the first time or that second time. And the blessing that it came through for that third time for you. But some people, the Bible says the just man falls 7 times. So sometimes we fall a little bit more. But eventually we do get there. But don't give up.
You can't give up. You can't give up. You can't quit. You can't give up. Absolutely. Because what else do you have? I mean, come on, you can't give up. You can't give up. And God is so amazing that he will work things out. Let me tell you, when I applied for nursing school, right? The first 2 schools I did not get into. The third school I got into, I'm like, come on, God, I know you called me to be a nurse. Like, what's going on here? When I finally got into the nursing school, so this is how amazing God is. When I got into the nursing school, it was a Christian director of nursing there. She had just started the same year I came in. And she specialized in grant writing. Dr. Proctor had written a character letter for me. So she knew I was a Christian. The whole interview was about Christ and my walk with Christ. And because she was a grant writer, every time she had a grant or opportunity, she would give me the application and I would read it. And I said, I don't qualify. And she was like, let them tell you no. Come to find out, she was the one picking who the grants went to. So because God was setting it up for a certain time and place and for us to connect, I ended up graduating from nursing school with no debt. I paid for my first semester, and that was it. After that, I was applying for grants.
So, I know we're here to talk about home health care things. But let's talk again. Because when it's something that you need to do, how he orders the steps and opens up the right doors as you step into it. It's like, when you go to the grocery store, the stores that have where it's the automatic doors. Yes. It's like as you walk up to it, it just opens. It ain't no gimmicks and things of that sort, because you were supposed to walk up to it. It opens up.
Yes.
And then it connects you with people that you didn't think was going to be even working. I was like, I don't qualify for this. You let them tell you no.
That's what she said.
And then you apply and then you get it. Like, wow.
Yes. Wow. Like, how amazing is God? And some of the teachers that I had, we are still connected to today. One of the teachers ended up working. She ended up working for me. Yes. And another teacher ended up sitting on my board of, because we have to have committees. She ended up sitting and we were all Christians. And I heard it so clear when I finally got there. God was like, yes, you were ready, but that wasn't. I was setting that up for you. So it's not even all about us sometimes not being ready. God was just preparing it. So yeah. So let's get back to home care. I'm sorry. So it's always the stuff that you don't want to hear that you got to hear. You got to hear a couple times to make sure. It's like, I'm going to talk about the Bible. I'm a church girl, not a church thing, but it's church girl in me, the Jesus in me rather, of how when something is said more than one time is because for emphasis. When he's telling you it's not that it's not for you, but you got to let me set the things up as it should be. Yes. And she's again, when I started, and I'm just like, and as Christians, we just all connected. It was just amazing how we connected, and we are still connected today.
And then the resources that comes from that is so amazing. Yeah. So we always talk about who's around you. There's some people around you of some things that you want to do. And if you just ask them a question or just listen to what it is that they're sharing, because sometimes they're dropping nuggets unbeknownst to you that can really help you for your next. Okay. Home health care. But however it flows, because, this is all about just helping the community with some good insight about life. Tonight we're talking about home health care, but whatever else come out to help us to be better versions of ourselves, that's what we're about right here. Okay. So home health care. So you said that things have been changing and shifting where it's not so much nursing homes and things that sort. We're moving more into the community and things that sort. But is it still possible for somebody to go to a nursing home?
Absolutely. Yes. Nursing homes are still open and still accepting clients. Unfortunately, because of COVID, there are beds available, unfortunately, because a lot of our elderly people were heavily affected by COVID in the beginning. So yes, nursing homes are still available. If you need that high level of care, say that you're not sick enough to be in the hospital, but you're not well enough to be at home, then you will go to a nursing home. Now, there are resources available. So if you qualify for a nursing home, they will set everything up for you at home too. But it depends on your independence level and your informal support as well too. Yes, home care, nursing home is still available. But people thrive more when they're home, when they're feeling safe, when they're not feeling as vulnerable, when they have people around them that they know and that they love. They thrive more, and that's what they see, because a lot of elderly people, unfortunately, in the nursing home suffer from depression, anxiety. I've seen so many cases where they would just, starve themselves to death because they were that depressed. But you don't see situations like that too often where they are having failure to thrive at home.
Okay. It makes sense. Even being home, for this year pandemic, I was talking to somebody who was talking about depression and how people have essentially lost some social skills because you haven't been around other people, haven't had that connection. We're doing Zooms, we're doing phone calls, some drive-bys and things, but some people haven't even been doing those things. So that's real. So being in the comfort of your own home, at least you know where everything is. Somebody comes in, you know how things are, and that brings some comfort.
A lot. Yeah, and it adds safety to you. Yeah.
Yes, and that's safety. Mama Wanda, she said it was going a whole nother way. It was going a whole nother way. And it's still going that way too, because it's all about whatever we need to share. I'm blaming Crystal. Crystal did that. Crystal did it. Crystal did it. And I ain't mad, because it is what it is. So when I was opening up,
the Holy Spirit got this thing.
That's how it is, And again, I start with a prayer every week, because that's what it's about. Whatever needs to be shared is going to be shared, and I'm open to it. Whatever it is, this is not my show. It's Jesus. When I opened up, I talked about the movie I Care a Lot. Did you see that movie by chance?
Yes, I did.
I wasn't a fan of it, and I was like, if I ever see this lady in another movie, I'm not gonna like it. Ironically, I saw her in another movie, and I was like, okay, maybe she's not that bad. But anytime an actor can take you to the point where you don't like them, they're doing a phenomenal job.
Yes. Yes.
But in a movie, basically, she was hoodwinking her clients and things of that sort.
Yes.
How can somebody be aware? What are some things people should know to not get hoodwinked, similar to that situation? Even with home health care, because somebody coming into your home, sometimes a family member say, hey, I'll do it, because they don't have a business per se. They have like a friend doing it. What are some ways we can be steer clear of scams?
So the government do have guardrails put up for those who are in home care, so that they're not financially exploited. Because that was just financial exploitation that you saw that was happening. So even if you hire a friend or family member, once they become an employee of Exceptional Hearts or any other home care agency in the state of Pennsylvania, a few things can happen. They cannot be the power of attorney, and they cannot be the payee for their Social Security or any kind of disability. They can't do that. And they cannot be a spouse. Another thing is they cannot have a check written to them over $50. And any monies that are exchanged have to go through the agency. Say that Miss Jones gave her caregiver $50 or $40 to go to the supermarket. She needs to call the office so that we know about it. And it can never be over $50. So upon admission to the agency, we go over all of that with all of our clients. Like, hey, do not give them your card. Do not give them access to your bank account. Do not ask them, can you borrow money? If a caregiver asks you, hey, I need $20 so I can get back to work tomorrow, have them call us. We can buy them the SEPTA card passes or whatever they need so they can get back and forth to work. Under no circumstances should a caregiver and a client be exchanging money unless the caregiver is just going to go to the store. And under no circumstances should we ever be giving anybody our financial information.
Got it. So we're talking about how to steer clear of scams. One is going to a legit agency, and from what we're hearing now, this is a legit agency that's not trying to scam the patients, the clients. We're asking questions. Let's talk about, is there like a contract that someone signs when they come into your service that explains that piece as well?
Yes. So even on the client side and the employee side, employees sign policies and procedures letting them know you cannot take money from the client under no circumstances. That is the immediate ground for termination. And unfortunately, we have seen it. We've seen it happen, believe it or not, to more so in the family than outside the family. Because most caregivers won't jeopardize their job knowing that they have a family at home for $20, you know what I mean? But I've seen stuff like that happen with families, and unfortunately we have to get the authorities involved because I don't care who you are. If you're going to try to take advantage of my client, I'm coming after you. For real.
I ain't mad at you. PJ, I am not paying attention to your comment about that baby and what happened at the end of that movie. But I might agree with the person that agreed with you. But nevertheless,
what did he say, Lord Jesus?
She said, I'm glad you died at the end. You only get 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I can't do it. A question on the floor. What about people who hire their family members to be a caretaker? Is this legal?
Yes, that is legal. So the state, I want to say less than 10 years ago, changed the waiver program to make it so that a friend or family member can be a paid caregiver. That is absolutely 100% legal. Yes. Okay. As long as it is not a spouse, a legal spouse, or a power of attorney or a payee. But mainly those two things. Most agencies, if you are somebody's payee, you're not going to get hired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I clarify too what a legal spouse is? Does it mean that we definitely were married, or is that like common law marriage as well?
Legal spouse mean that you have a marriage license down there at City Hall.
Okay.
That's the legal spouse.
Okay. Now, when pursuing a home health care agency, should the home health care agency be licensed?
All home health care agencies have to go through licensure through the Department of Health. You have to get licensed. A surveyor come out. You have to have certain policies and procedures in place. You have to have a boatload of insurances. You have to have obviously a payroll company, bank accounts, and everything. So yes, you are scrutinized. Like we have at least 5 off the top of my head of governmental entities that are our watchdogs. And the biggest one is called who police home care, and the police of all healthcare is called the Office of Attorney General. And they are the police for us. So yes, you have to go through a license. I mean, every month or several times a year, you might get audited from different entities.
Okay. So when you hire staff and things like that, what are the aide's basic credentials who will be assigned to a client?
So their basic credentials are: one, you have to be at least 18 years or older. And you have to pass a competency test. It's very basic, and you can really do it online. Due to COVID, a lot of our hiring and orientation process is done online. But you still have to come into the office for some things. So we try to make it as less contact as possible. We still have to go out to the client houses, obviously, to service and do the admission for our clients. But you have to go. Now, all of the caregivers, even if say that Ms. Jones called me and say, hey, I have home care services and I want my granddaughter to be my caregiver. I have to take her through the complete hiring process as if she was a stranger coming in, going to Ms. Jones' house. I still have to run all of her criminal backgrounds. She still have to be fingerprint from the federal government, from the FBI. I still have to do her child abuse. I still have to go through all of the background clearances. It doesn't matter. Even if it's a mother taking care of a child, it doesn't matter. A mother can take care of a child too. A father can take care of a child too.
So I can say that Grandma Sue needs a home health aide and she has identified me. We could come to your agency and I could get trained and staffed through your agency to be her home health care?
Absolutely, yep. You can go through the training with us. The training is all online. Everything is pretty much online right now. And it's very easy, very basic. We used to do CPR. We don't do CPR anymore. But it's very minimal. Very minimal.
You mean you hiring I could get a job? This is nice. I'm learning something.
Honey, let me tell you something. Everybody's hiring right now. Nobody want to work. Ever since they released this whole stimulus and biting buck stuff, it cost me more money to have the ads up than the people were applying. They weren't even looking at the ads right now. So yes, we are like desperately hiring.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Chosen friends, if you need a job, we got some opportunities for you.
Yes.
So the question on the table is, what type of training is needed to be a caregiver? And I think you shared a little bit of that, but
basic training for is how to care for someone, physical needs, how to feed someone a balanced meal, how to...
What's a balanced meal? McDonald's Happy Meal? You gotta clarify. People don't know,
A balanced meal with protein, vegetable, and a starch.
Okay.
You
gotta clarify.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You gotta clarify.
Okay, I understand. Knowing how to wash someone up, whether it's in a shower, a bathtub, or a bed, how to ambulate, how to walk with someone so that way that they can put some of their weight that's on they can bear some of their weight on you so that way they won't fall. Knowing how to keep somebody's area clean and clear of clutter, how to set up things so that, the things that's essential to our clients are at arm's reach for them. That way they don't have to keep constantly getting up to get some of the simple things. Another thing that they get trained on is obviously attire, how they're supposed to dress and present themselves to the clients. And again, we go through all of that even with family members. The training is still all the same. How to clean someone's house, what you can or cannot do, emphasizing that home care aides aren't housekeepers, because we have some older folks like, oh no, you got to get down on your hands and knees and scrub my floors. No, grandma, we're not doing that no more. And we, letting them know you can't get up on no chair to dust, the top of the curtains and all that. And we do light housekeeping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
the
nice.
services are more so geared towards personal care and not the house, but they are supposed to wash the dishes, make meals. They can take out the trash. They don't walk the dog. They don't sweep or shovel or anything in the front of the house or the back of the house, or they only do that around the house and around where the client is.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So Sandra said, I have this in my home for my sister. So let's talk about that. If I have a home health care aide in my home and I don't like what they're doing or how things are working out, I have somebody in the house for Aunt Sue, and I'm seeing that person is not doing the greatest, or I am Aunt Sue, and I'm like, this person is not really treating me pretty good. How can I voice that concern? What's that process?
So what we have is a 24-hour on-call service. So you can call our main telephone number, 215-455-1123, and you're always going to get a live person that answer the phone. So you can call us, you can talk to us. Everybody, all of my clients have a case manager. They know who the case manager are. They know that I am the owner of Exceptional Hearts. They can call, they can talk to us and let us know what's going on. So either we can have that aide retrained or we can have her replaced, depending on the extent of what's going on.
So wait a minute. We got a home health aide and they got a social worker for the family too? This is nice.
Case manager, yeah.
I'm sorry, case manager. This is nice. See, this is top dollar. Top dollar.
Yes, we do have case managers.
Because sometimes you need some other services, or you may need somebody to help out with different tasks and things, or struggling with a bill. That home health aide can let me let your case manager know. They can let you know how to work out something.
Yes. There are times when some of our clients don't have informal support, a child or a relative or a friend nearby that can help out with things like that. And we have set up for meals to be delivered. We set up for the grocery store, how we come in and we make sure they give us a list of things and we can order it for them so that their groceries can be delivered. It'll stop the aide from having to do it, and it won't eat up so much of their hours that they have. We have set up so that a lot of our clients who are elderly, again, without the informal support, that some of their bills and stuff can be drafted out of their account automatically. So we will do things like that for clients. And that way it'll keep out of the hands out of their accounts. So most of that stuff go through their case manager.
Very nice. Very nice. Another question is, can you give them medication?
No. In the state of Pennsylvania, the only person that can administer medications are a licensed practical nurse, an LPN, or a registered nurse, or RN, or obviously a doctor. The home care aides are not trained to give medication. They cannot do that. They do not have a license. They only have a certificate in home care as a home care aide for basic personal needs.
Got it. So if the patient is prescribed medicine by somebody that's professional, can they ensure that the client is taking their medicine?
They are allowed to do medication reminders. They can say, hi, Ms. Jones, here's your medication pill. Here's your blood pressure pill. You're supposed to take it today at 9:00. And they can hand them the bottle of the pills.
Okay.
But they can open it if they can't, if the client can't, and then the client have to take it out and administer the medication for themselves.
Okay. So who qualifies for home health care?
Anyone who is elderly or disabled. If you have a daily, at least one I think they upped it to 2 daily living deficiencies, meaning that you need assistance to take a bath safely,
Mm-hmm.
to go outside grocery shopping, to do errands, to go to the doctors. If you need assistance with remembering to take your medications, with ambulating, if you have a walker or a cane that you use to get around the house, if you need assistance with meal preparation, some of the daily living activities that you need assistance with, you can qualify for home care. Because
Okay.
if your sickness or your illness is putting you at a limit where, okay, I know I cannot safely take care of myself, or it's going to
Mm-hmm.
take me an hour to take a shower,
Mm-hmm.
even though I have grab bars in the bathroom, I
Mm-hmm.
might need a little bit more assistance because I've fallen in the past or something like that.
Okay.
Those are the people who can qualify for home care.
Okay.
And your diagnosis can be high blood pressure. A lot of people don't realize how serious high blood pressure is because, one, it is our heart. And what happens with a lot of elderly people who have high blood pressure is when you're sitting down, first of all, they can't go from lying down to standing up. They have to sit down, dangle on the side of the bed before they stand up. And if you move too fast and you have high blood pressure, it often causes dizziness because your heart isn't compensating for, now it has to send all of the blood not only from your vital organs, but to your extremities and also to your head. And that's not happening as fast as you stand up. So you end up getting dizzy, and sometimes they fall right back down because that's your
Mm-hmm.
body saying, okay, wait a minute, I don't have it all together. Just chill
Mm-hmm.
out for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So those things like that. And sometimes people can go as far as passing out because their pressure would drop so fast,
Okay.
because it's a shift in our blood pressure that happens with movement like that. And that causes an unsafe environment for someone that's elderly and disabled.
Got it.
And if they fall down and break their hip, or a leg or anything like that, especially a hip, it can send you, or that elderly person in a nursing home, in the hospital, obviously having surgery, and then they have to go to the nursing home and rehab
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff. And unfortunately, it depends on the age of that person. They oftentimes don't make it back out of the nursing home.
Got it. Mm.
So the government said, okay, if you can thrive longer, live longer, and obviously they did it because it saves them money too. That's the government. Um, they said, okay, I'm gonna keep you at home. That
Mm-hmm.
way, if you're at home and you need 5, 6, 8, 12 hours a day, someone to be there to assist you with all your daily living activities, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna pay somebody to go in there
Got
and
it.
help you out.
So let's say I'm a couple, and the spouse, whether the wife or the husband, is in need of some support. The
Mhm.
spouse, whichever other spouse, is doing everything they can, but it's becoming a lot, it's becoming taxing. They want some help. Can they bring in a home health aide provided that they meet the criteria to get that support?
Absolutely. The criteria, now home care services, the services that Exceptional Hearts provide are waiver-based services. So 100% of our clients do not pay for any of their services. We even assist them walk them through the program to be a part of what's called the Office of Long-Term Living.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is through the Department of Welfare.
Okay.
Yes. So welfare, a lot of people don't realize, like, welfare has so many different parts to welfare. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just the food stamp card, or, the medical card, and, getting funds or whatever. It's a lot to welfare. So you have to qualify for welfare. That means you have to make under $2,200 per month. Again, you have to have at least 2 daily living deficiencies, and your primary care physician have to be able to write off and say, hey, I approve for this person to have home care services because she has XYZ diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what qualifies the person to have home care services. When they come out, when they go through the enrollment process, even though you are married, they only going to come out into enroll and assess that person's financial income that they
Mm-hmm.
are who are enrolling. So if the wife is enrolling, they're not going to assess the husband's income.
Okay.
Okay, so don't think that, oh, we're married and they're going to join our income. They're not going to do that. It's always individualistic.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did that answer your question? Did I go so
Yeah,
fast?
because
Okay.
I asked it because I'm trying to normalize it. Because sometimes, you have your spouse who's like, I could do it for him, I could do it for her. But sometimes it becomes taxing. It can be overwhelming. So you want to
Mhm.
bring that support in because that's like a respite in a piece, in a sense, to help relieve you from all the duties that you're trying to do
Absolutely.
to support that loved one with whatever it is that they have going on.
Yes, because there is a such thing called caregiver burnout. And the
Yes.
thing about being burnt out, you don't know till you burnt out. Till
Mhm.
you mad and angry, and the 10th person and told you, why are you so mad today? And
I'm
it's
not
like,
mad.
that's what,
You are.
yes.
You're
Especially
my
as kids,
nerves.
we
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not mad. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
something's wrong with you, not me. But
Yeah.
yeah, so before you get to that point, that's when we say, give us a call, we can help.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the thing about the waiver services, once you are enrolled, you pretty much enrolled for life.
Awesome.
So they will reevaluate you every 5 years financially.
Mhm.
I've never seen anybody kicked off the waiver services
Awesome.
unless you hit the lottery.
You
But
know,
most people spend it so fast they ain't gonna
most people
they're
feel
not
it's
gonna
okay.
know.
They're not gonna know. But that's good to know. And again, you don't have to do it all alone. There are some supports out there, and the person doesn't have to be in your house for a gazillion hours. It can be
Nope.
for a couple of hours just to be able to offer you that support,
Mm-hmm.
and things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So a question was: so the wife or husband can be the caretaker in the home?
No, the wife or the husband you cannot be the caretaker for someone if you're married to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, Elder, you cannot say that. If your husband needs services, you can't be his paid caregiver, or he can't be yours either.
Mm-hmm. But my question was asking because you trying to be the character is like it's already overwhelming right now. A couple extra coins is nice, but you want to just bring somebody else in that can offer that support to help relieve that burden a little bit from you. It's like having a nanny to help you with that
Yes,
baby because it was becoming
yes,
overwhelming. You bring
yes,
somebody in for a couple of hours just to help you to be able to get a nap, run some errands that you weren't able to run because
absolutely.
different things of that sort. So that's what I was trying to get at of sharing with that.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes we have a lot of situations like that where they will have a caregiver that would just come in only in the morning just to help out the other spouse, just to get the other person up and ready, the
Mm-hmm.
medication, the breakfast,
Yes.
dress and
Yes.
wash and everything. So they would just have it for the morning. They would have like 4 hours in the morning and then somebody to come in 4 hours at night, and that way they have that window in the afternoon so that the spouses can be together.
Got it. So I have a question. Well, more questions, of course. That's what we're going to do. If does the home health care worker do activities and things with the client? I know, like in a nursing home per se,
Mhm.
they do like different activities. I know Miss Sandra, she works in her home, so they do like arts and crafts. It's pretty cool to keep them functioning, keep that brain moving, keep that mind going. Does the home health care worker also support with that in the home?
Absolutely. The home care aides can absolutely do any type of activities that the client would like to participate with. Yeah. They even sometimes go to like the community rec centers with them.
Okay.
When they were open, they used to go with them. And that was so nice. And we did have clients that used to still go to bingo and things like that. And they would go with their caretaker.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. All right.
Church too. A lot of our clients used to go to
Yeah.
church and used
Yes.
to be like, "Oh, I need my caretaker to go with me to church." So
Yes.
yes, even that victory we used to see where I don't remember the gentleman, but the people, yeah, he used to be in the back and he used to bring his caretaker in.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they can go anything that the client needs to do. I've had caregivers go on vacations with their clients.
Mm.
So yes, they
Sign me
can.
up for those. Let me. I will make sure they had the time of their. I gotta get my life together. Oh. But that's pretty cool to be able to do that. One, again,
Mhm.
just to allow the patient or the client to have that experience and to be able to go would be amazing. But I'll talk offline about that. Now, when y'all see
Okay.
me posting my picture, chosen friends, y'all just let me be great. I am doing the work of an exceptional heart, okay?
While you chilling on the beach,
Why
right?
still like, what you need? You good? Cool. Yes. Okay. Hey, because at the end of the day, you want somebody that wants to enjoy what it is that they're doing. Not
Yes.
just going to like reap benefits and things of sort, but you want to really, really enjoy what it
Mhm.
is that you're doing. Because if not, you're not going to have that job no more.
No, you're not.
Because it's going to come out. Just like that angry piece, it's going to come out that you don't like it. And the actions, you're not going to show up on time. You're not going to meet the needs. And then somebody comes to check and be like, well, why is X, Y, and Z happening? You're right. You got to go, sweetie, because we have to move forward.
Yes, you can tell when someone don't want to be somewhere. Their whole continent is off. And, you know, and elderly people can they can pick it up like that. And I'm like, I told that young lady she can leave, you know?
Yes. So let's talk about that, because I saw the video where the caretaker was not really pleased with her worker. I think she was just having like a bad day, so the video showed the caretaker spitting on a worker, like trying to throw stuff, trying to fight her, things of that sort. And everybody was like in an uproar, like, let's find her, let's bless her. And then there was another video where they was jamming and dancing. So sometimes they do have a bad day. Sometimes they don't have a bad day. But when that client is having that rough day, that rough week, what are supports that your staff is able to do to help them through that process?
So I think I know what you're talking about, where it was a Caucasian woman with a Black woman. Yeah. To me, it seemed like she had mental health changes.
Right.
So in situations like that, there are times that you may have to walk away for a moment and just woosah for a moment, so that way you're not giving back that person the same energy that they're giving to you. And if we tell our employees, we actually had the Alzheimer's Association come out and train some of our staff and give us some material on that, because it was such a high rise on it, and to teach people how to deal with it, because some of the behaviors that happen, you may take it personal, but we have to always emphasize to people, it's not personal. It's not personal. And what I tell them to do is always just try to walk out the room and make sure they're safe. Walk out the room, because sometimes they will forget just like that. And they be like, oh, you just got here, and you still cleaning up the mess they threw on your face. So if you can walk out the room and woosah yourself and gather yourself together and then come back. But we always say, make sure that person is safe before you do that. And if you can't take it, call us, and we will send somebody over there. We will go there to make sure that that person is still receiving the service that they need.
Very good. And that applies to regular life as well. Like, somebody go off for a moment. Sometimes they are having a bad day. Sometimes they are doing a little bit more than they should be. But making sure you're having that moment for yourself so that you can make the best decision in that moment.
Yes.
So another question from Heather Kirby. Are caretakers doing this full-time or part-time?
They can do it both.
Okay.
Yes, they can do it both. And sometimes we have caretakers who are just on call. They don't want to have a set schedule. They're just picking up additional hours, but they can be full-time or part-time.
Look at me learning my options, because this vacation is going to be part-time as needed. Who needs it? Okay, I'm available. Jim Carrey's in the Bahamas. They were like, where is this girl at? Let me be great.
I had a client who went to Vegas with her caregiver. And they had a good time.
Very nice, very nice. I'm about to look into this. I'm gonna weigh my options. So question, I don't have cameras in my home. How can I receive progress reports on how my loved one is doing?
Get cameras in your home.
Okay.
So when we have situations where the client lives here and a family member lives in another state, I always try to encourage them to get cameras.
Okay.
Get internet in your mama home and your grandmama home and get a camera in there.
Yes.
They can always call us, but again, as case managers and management, we're not in the home every day. We do pop-up visits, we do supervisory visits, we do wellness calls, but still none of that is banned in the home every day. Get a camera. They are so inexpensive now. I mean, I have cameras in my home and I live by myself. Get a camera. Absolutely get a camera.
Got it. All right. Get a camera, friends. So if I sorted out, what's the least amount of hours somebody can have?
The least amount I seen was 9 hours a week.
Okay.
And that was somebody that was pretty independent, and he wasn't letting go of his independence. He just wanted somebody to just come in and straighten up the house for him and make sure that he took his shower certain days like that.
Okay.
That was just
Okay.
it. But everything else he could do on his own.
Got it. I'm not going to tease my brother certain days for the shower. Just make sure you get in it.
Well, elderly people are different from us.
Yeah.
So, we can shower every day and won't, get sick, but oftentimes they can't.
Absolutely. I'm teasing. We see talking about last week cleanliness next to godliness when we talk about COVID-19. But yes, it's different for them, and that part too, understanding that your way is different from their way. Where I work at their nurse home, and they would take their sandwich and they would dip it in their juice, and then they would eat it. And I was like, okay, but it helps them because it's soggy, so it helps with the teeth and the gums and things of that sort. So again, we can't get their yum. That's what they enjoy. We just make sure you got juice to go with your sandwich to make it where you can eat it and things of that sort.
Absolutely. And as a caregiver, you have to be like, okay, what is it that you want me to do for you?
Yes.
I'm not trying to come in your house and take over your house and have this be my second home. I'm just here to assist you with your daily living activities. Yes. So if you go in with that kind of mindset, I think the relationship oftentimes work out a whole lot better. Because she may have her way of doing things and it may not be my way, but I can't ask her to change just to conform to my way because I'm there. The home care services aren't at the convenience of the caregiver. It's for the client.
Good to hear.
It's client-centered.
So let's talk about the client that had the 9 hours because they're trying to maintain some of their independence. What happens when more services are needed? Like, how does that conversation work? Where it's like, okay, 9 hours was good, but now we need a little bit more because we're seeing some different things going on and we want to give you more care.
So the great thing about home care services right now is the whole way of how it was has changed. So now all of the home care services, now we call it community health choices, where now people have Medicare, Medicaid, all of your services are entered. If you are going to physical therapy at ABC place and your primary care physician is at EFG and you getting services from here and there, now the healthcare industry have become an octopus that now we can all be interconnected and we know what the other person is doing. So say that Miss Jones just had a new diagnosis and she's not feeling like herself, or she had a procedure and now she needs more services. Now she needs more hours. I can pick up the phone and call the insurance company and say, hey, this is what's going on with Miss Jones. And they would know because we only have one government, and they can see in the system that she just came home from the hospital. Now she has diabetes. Now she has, congestive heart failure, and she wasn't doing well. So they will increase the hours. Absolutely. You can always have an increase in hours, or if you need with a new diagnosis, you might need a nurse to come out there and teach for you. We no longer provide skilled nursing, but the insurance company will send a nurse out just to teach you how to take your medication, when to take your medication, how you feel before and after you take your medication. They can send out a nutritionist, or you can go see the nutritionist. It's a lot of services that are now available, especially with community health choices that you can have, so you can stay living in your home independently.
Very nice. So up to how many hours can you have in the home? It wouldn't be maybe nurse to home hours 24/7.
Yeah, you can have 24/7. We have clients that have 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear. And then they still maintain the upkeep of their home, the bills and things of that sort. They just have the worker come out through the insurance.
Unfortunately, oftentimes when clients have 24/7, they are a total care, meaning that somebody else does everything for them.
Okay. So a comment was, Crystal Minister Jen, I so appreciate this info. I just recently retired and I was thinking about doing this later down the road to have something to do. So the info is very informative for me. Now, Elder Kirby, if you get out there and you're on the Bahamas with one of my clients and I'm like, now wait a minute. I'm just saying, take me with you. Add me as a plus one. But hey, yes, this is definitely something that you'll be amazing at. To be able to be that support to someone else. So, yeah, we both coming over there is what we're saying. Because again, if you graduation, I'm like now
Come on.
on April 26, 2021. Y'all knew I was trying to go to the Bahamas.
Come on.
She was supposed to say no, I can't go. Let Jennifer go.
She's gonna be right there on that boat. I said, "Come." Oftentimes with elderly people, we get so many phone calls, unfortunately, and they be like, "Don't send me nobody under 35." And because I guess it's a certain conversation, a certain connection that they're looking for. And sometimes we get phone calls, and elderly people want to be around young people, but we do have more of the opposite, where they want somebody that's older, because most of the people that's over 35, they're not going to call out because their child's sick. They're not calling out for all of the little things that sometimes somebody younger will call out for. The wind blowing too hard, they call out. Oh, it's raining now. The bus didn't come. I'm not making it. So older people not going to do that. They showing up. If they say they're going to be there, they're going to be there.
I am 34 plus some with a couple days, so I think I made it. Just made it. I'm going to the Bahamas, friends. So in thinking of Exceptional Hearts, what makes your business stand out? What do you think makes it stand out?
Well, I think it's several things that make us stand out. One is our touch in customer service, because I have a customer service background. And so we add that added piece to it to make people feel like, to make them know that, hey, we care about you, we value you, you're just not another number in our book or anything like that. Another thing is a lot of the benefits that we offer to our caregivers. Our caregivers are paid weekly. They're paid the proper time and a half rate. They pay for holidays. They're paid for their birthday. We offer vacation. We offer sick time. And I just recently rolled out a program where we are doing 401k with a match. And also we just offered a life insurance policy. So if you work for Exceptional Hearts and you're full-time, you will have a free life insurance policy with us. So we do that to let caregivers know, like, hey, we are investing in you because you have invested your time into us, and that this is not just a gig. You know what I mean? If you 35, 40 years old, that era need to be over from hopping from job to job to job. So we want to I want to invest in my employees to let them know, like, hey, be here, stay here, because we value you. Another thing we do for our clients is, I used to have a funeral benefit for the clients. It kind of told the line of illegal, because we cannot technically give our clients any type of gift or benefit to come with us, because they have to have the freedom of choice. So when I first started, I had a client, my first client passed away, and 2 weeks later I just called to check on the family just to say hi, and they was like, yeah, well, we just had the fish fries so that we can bury him. I was like, what? And I was like, okay, like that time is over. Like, okay, so if you're a client of Exceptional Hearts, we were putting up like $2,000, and we would give it to the funeral home if you were our client at the time of your death, so that way your family not having no fish fry, to bury you. You're not sitting in a box for 2 weeks. And a lot of that happened, unfortunately, in our community, because a lot of us don't plan for end of life issues. Oftentimes that conversation goes, unspoken, or is so highly, and people get so caught up with it. But that's something that we need to plan for. We have to plan for the end of life. I mean, when my great grandmother passed away, she had already picked out her clothes. Her pot, her plots, her casket, everything was already done when she got diagnosed with stomach cancer, because she look, I know that one day I'm going to die. And she died at 95 years old. And it was like my grandmother really didn't have to do anything, because it was already set up. And those are some of the things that I like to do for my clients, because unfortunately, again, we struggle with that in the Black community with planning. And if we don't plan, we just plan to fail. So I like to do stuff like that for us. I hate the fact that unfortunately, this is an industry where you profit off of the underprivileged community.
Mm-hmm.
So my way of giving back is to sow back into my clients and to help my caregivers as well too.
I love it. I love it. Yes, she said, very good, Crystal. That is exceptional. Very much so.
Thank you,
We had
Elder.
an episode where I brought on a funeral director and we talked about that because too often we are not prepared when that happens.
Not
We talked
prepared.
about the importance of having a funeral home in mind if somebody does go.
Yeah.
Because you want somebody to take care of the baby, take care of the body and things of that sort.
Yes. Yes.
Having the funds to care for that
Yeah.
process because it is not a couple dollars, it's a couple hundred, a couple $1,000s for that
Yes.
process. So having a life insurance, we buying all these different things, but invest in a life insurance. I have more life insurances policies than I probably need, but hey, I have them. I'm paying
Yes.
into them, making sure that I'm covered. And I want to encourage all of our children friends to do that too. So if you don't have a
Absolutely.
life insurance plan, get one. Life
Yeah.
is short. Here today, gone today.
Yeah. I mean, look
And
what happened last year. 500,000 people
yeah.
gone. And we don't even know if that number is on the lower side. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? All
Mm-hmm.
of those people just gone. And
Yes.
it's so sad to see that some of those people won't ever get buried. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
because the family, can't get the bodies from the morgue or anything like that, because they can't bury them. They can't afford to bury them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to see stuff like that happen in our community. I'm a big component on giving back. Like, I love to give back. I'm big on giving. So, and that was my way to give back to the community,
Mm-hmm.
is to do that. And I actually went out and I talked to several funeral directors, like, hey, will you help me if I send you some of my clients when they passed away? Will you make sure that you won't charge their family more than X?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited income. You know what I mean? This
Yes.
You can't make that much money when you get in home care services,
Right. Right.
unfortunately. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So you have somebody on limited income, and are you able to bury them, give them a service, or cremate them so that way they can have a proper burial for
Right.
X amount of dollars? And we sorted out about 3 funeral homes. That's it. Yes, I do it.
Yes.
That was before the pandemic, but
Right. But I love it because it shows the heart of the funeral homes too. Sometimes they have so many people come through where they don't get compensated for it. But the fact that they were willing to say, yes, we're going to do that because we understand that, we went into this business because one is lucrative. Somebody's always dying, unfortunately, but fortunately. But we went into business and we still want to be able to help the family. We still want to be able to meet the need and not break bank for people when they're just going to be struggling, then that take them down. So that's really good to hear that some funeral homes are on board for that. Yes, Elizabeth Creamer, I believe that she's a relative here with the Creamer.
That's my mama.
Yes, I love Mama Creamer. She said Crystal goes above and beyond for her clients and her staff. That's what makes Exceptional Hearts exceptional. Absolutely. Hearing about this benefit plan. Look, I'm trying to go on a vacation, Mama Creamer. I'm about to see what I can do. They be like, Jennifer only going over there to go on a vacation. I like helping people. I'm going to help them help me. Oh, goodness. So how can people support and follow you?
So we are on all social media platforms at Exceptional Hearts. And you can Google us. We are Exceptional Hearts. We are my main office is located in Center City, Philadelphia, 1500 John F. Kennedy Boulevard in Suite 420. We have an office in Allentown. We have an office now opening up in Harrisburg too. But if you call our 215-455-1123, you can always reach us.
455-1123?
Yes.
All right. So that is the phone number if you want to reach out to Exceptional Hearts. They also have a phenomenal website, exceptional-hearts.com.
Yes.
And then I do know on Instagram, I didn't pull the Facebook name, but if you go on the website, you can go to the hyperlink at the bottom for Instagram or Facebook and connect to see what it is that they're doing in the community. And if you know somebody that needs a job, those benefits sound mighty nice. So follow them on Instagram as well. Some nice postings and sharings that they're doing over there. Some great things, exceptional things are being done at Exceptional Hearts. So be sure to reach out. Oh, this was good. So I don't know that I answered my questions, but I'm going to ask a question about how to get a job.
You can go to our website. Yes, if you go to our website, you can fill out an application and it goes right to our email and we respond to those applications. Absolutely.
Got it.
So you can go on our website and apply.
Got it. And the staff have to just be 18, right?
Yes.
Because I know some youth that need a job. I'm like, if y'all don't go to Exceptional Hearts and be exceptional with your heart as you treat the exceptional clients.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's something that we should walk away from about knowing about whatever? What's the takeaway for tonight for you?
The takeaway for tonight for me would be wellness. Absolutely. That Exceptional Hearts is here to promote health and wellness and to provide exceptional services to your friend or your family member who are in need, and that we can be a trusting hand for anyone that is a part of the elderly or disabled community, especially for the boomer generation who is getting older, and us millennials have to take care of them. And we are able to be there for them so that we can provide you and your family member the peace of mind that you can close the door and you can go to work, and that we're going to be there and take care of your loved one as if it was you. So that would be a big walk away. And also that we are here to help and serve the underprivileged community, because that's my heart. And home care is my health, community care is my heart too. As you can see, I love what I do. Like look, I'm not gonna be able to do nothing else. I'm a dire nurse. This is who I'm going to be. This is not no trick or a gimmick or a gig or anything like that. There are so many home care agencies that you can choose from. What I say is true, and I don't do no tricks or gimmicks or promise people all of this nonsense that I don't deliver on, because my word means everything to me, and how you what you say out of your mouth about Exceptional Hearts means something to me too, because I want you to be like, no, send your loved one over to Exceptional Hearts. Crystal going to take care of them. So that would be one of the biggest takeaways, I would say, that I hope the people receive tonight.
Awesome. That's good. Now, when did you know that you definitely wanted to be a nurse?
My mom is a nurse. I don't know. It was just in me. I don't know. Well, I used to want to be a doctor, and I was like, I ain't going to school that long. I'm always just going to be a nurse. So, and I'm glad I did. But my mom is a nurse too. My sister's a nurse. I have a lot of family that's in the healthcare industry. My aunt, So yeah, we all like nurses and stuff.
That's interesting. What I've been learning recently is that the last two guests we had in the medical field and things of that sort, it runs in the family. So when it runs in the family, it's like, yep, that's what I was going to do. My dad, he did social work in school. My grand did social work. That's what runs in the bloodline of helping other people. So it's amazing to hear that that's how it worked out. Mama's nurse, like, yeah, I think I want to do this too. And that's again commendable. Keep it in the family, and then now to establish a business and to let this evolve and be able to help other people. Again, y'all friends, go over there. If y'all need a job, if you need a home health aide, if you have a home health aide in mind and want them to get trained, they can go right on over and get exceptionally trained by the Exceptional Hearts. I'm going to use that all the time. So awesome. And so you said that our keyword was what?
Wellness.
Got it. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Let me see. We have Elder Kirby said, amen. Continue blessings to you and your business. Absolutely.
Amen. Thank you.
Mama Wanda said this was exceptional. And that means so much. Like hearing you really just talk from your heart of why it is you do what you do, how you are excited about doing what you do. That's somebody that we want to connect with. If somebody has that, it just exudes from them. You just smell it, you just breathe it, and everything of what it is that they're enjoying that they're doing. That's somebody you want to connect with, because you feel that from heart to heart of like, they really mean it. That is sincere. They're going to look out for my best well-being. And, anytime I go to the the mechanic to get some stuff done, treat me as if I was your child. If it was your call, how would you do that? And when you have mindset, when you have that heart, you can't go wrong, because you want the best for them as you want the best for yourself. So keep on doing what you're doing. You are doing exceptionally well.
Praise God.
Every time I see her, I'm like, exceptional. It's just exceptional. Exceptional. Lord, help me to remember that, because I want to tell her every time exceptional, because sometimes we got to be reminded that it wasn't in vain, that which we did. You enjoying what you're doing is great, but now to see how it has blossomed from Philadelphia to Allentown to Harrisburg, and the sky's the limit, because it could be other places too. So again, just continue to be exceptional. It is well received, and we thank you for your service. Continue going. Gonna send some people over there. Y'all mind your business. If I'm on the Bahamas with a client, that's where they want to go, and I want it to be exceptional with them. But thank you so much for doing this, Crystal. You have a great evening.
You too. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Anytime. Oh, goodness. Tonight we had Crystal Prima. That was amazing. So, did y'all hear what the keyword was? I hope you did, because guess what? We got a day of empowerment coming up. Check out who we got coming. Put the keyword in the comments.
Get ready. Chosen Counselors presents a day of empowerment. Join us on Saturday, May 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. virtually, as we will inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen all attendees. Topics include self-care, parenting, healing, singleness, business, dating, married life, burnout, and more. Special guests include Christian Mills, Todd Davis, Sherry Thompson, Marquise Coates, Tiffany Wilson, Bob Fleming, Sierra Brown, Maurice Williams, and Dr. Ulysses and Shanika Pratt. Planning to attend? Visit eventbrite.com, search Chosen Counselors, and select the link to purchase your tickets today. So join us on Saturday, May 15th for a day of empowerment. Be sure to mark your calendars and tell a friend, as this day of empowerment is brought to you by Chosen Counselors.
Chosen friends, it's going to be amazing. And guess what? We have 2 winners. I'm going to give it to both of them. I'm giving it to my mama Wanda, because I can, and I love Mama Wanda. She's been here since day one. And tonight we also got Mama Creamer. You got a ticket too. So I'll be sure to get your information so that you can get a ticket. Can you believe we've come to the end of a month? April's over. Where's this year going? Don't forget our quote of the day. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Compassion. Exceptional and compassion go hand in hand. I'm telling you, she got compassion for what it is that she's doing, because she enjoys it. So we want to be able to support her as well. I just wanted to share, I've been charged to do a youth event. We're doing something for the adults and young adults, but we want to do something for our children as well. So we want to host a Day of Hope in August. And I'm reaching out for support and help, because if this is something that you want to be a part of, email me, call me, so that she could be added to our planning meetings that will be getting in May. We are so excited to offer a Day of Hope, and we want you to send your babies over, because it's going to be good. We're going to talk about some topics related to our youth. Different things that's going on, domestic violence, domestic abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, teen pregnancy, sex, and things or STDs. If you get in trouble with the law, what that looks like, how it can really affect your record. We want to be able to encourage them, but also let them know that there is hope. A lot is happening, but there is hope, and I want to encourage them. So again, if you want to be a part, reach out to me. As we have come to the end of the month, we have our next theme coming up for May. The series theme is Grow. Check out who we have coming.
Gen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors, invites you to their May series, Grow. Beginning on Monday, May 3rd, we will have therapist Tiff join us for the Planting Seeds episode. Tune in on Monday, May 10th for Watering the Garden with Crystal Collington. Then we will have Jardé Allen on Monday, May 17th to talk all about pruning. We will close out on Monday, May 24th with Jennifer Bailey to learn about repotting. Tune in on Facebook Live or on YouTube by searching Chosen Counselors on Mondays at 8 p.m. Be sure to mark your calendars and tell a friend, as this Gen Care series is brought to you by Chosen Counselors.
All right, chosen friends, be sure to tune in. Why? Because we have to continue to grow. They say April showers bring May flowers, and we're going to be some blossoming flowers next month. We're going to continue to grow. Whatever it is that we wanted to do this year, we're going to talk about. We're going to attack it and be exceptional at it. All right. Friends, lastly, I just want to share that life is short. Check on somebody you love today and make sure that they know that they are loved, that they are appreciated, and that they are needed, and they are exceptional. And if nobody has told you today, I love you. You are needed. You are appreciated. You are needed, and you are exceptional, my chosen friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, love you all for real.